A big thank you to GoDaddy for sponsoring this video. GoDaddy Managed WordPress Hosting is a great way to quickly create and host your WordPress site. Go to bit.ly/JamieWP to get 30% off your managed WordPress hosting today. Apple are world famous for their amazing and beautiful design in all their products, and their website is no exception. So today I'm going to show you how I started with a completely blank WordPress website and recreated the Apple website in under 30 minutes. Let's dive in. So as ever with these website recreations, I have my website over on the left, just running WordPress and the 2024 theme. Over on the right, I've got the official Apple website. It's got some really interesting features though. First off, it's got this very narrow navigation along the top, and it's also sticky. So as you scroll up, can you see how it's sticking to the top of the screen? Then we've got this section here and this section here. They're all pretty easy, I think. We've got this lovely box section, like that a lot. And then down here, another box section. Then we've got this section here, which is a carousel. So I'm going to have to use a plugin for that one. And then finally, we've got this big T's and C's here and this huge footer, which looks complex, but actually in terms of layout, it's very straightforward. The way I'm going to do this today for speed is very simply to go to templates and click add new. I'm going to use the front page template so you can see exactly what I'm building. That will essentially give me a brand new blank canvas to start building this site out on. So I'm just going to click choose here, and now I should be able to search for my header template part. There it is. And then under that, I'm going to add this cover block. So I'm just going to go /cover. And then I'm going to go to my media library. I should already have this photo uploaded, so select that. That'll set that as the background. Let's quickly just remove the overlay opacity on that cover block so we're pretty much identical to what we've got over on the right. And now I'm going to work on the navigation along the top. The first thing I need to do is make it sticky. You can see as I scroll up and down the page that navigation block isn't sticky at the moment, so I'm going to make it sticky. I'm just going to select the header block here. Now what you have to do to make it sticky is you have to group it. And as soon as you group it, you come across here to the block styles and you can click on position and then you simply make that sticky. And now that header will be sticky. I also want to rearrange the order of these. You can see they are alphabetical by default. So we want store at the top. So you literally just drag them up. So I want Mac in the second space. Then we want entertainment. And then we want support. So we've got our navigation in the right order. In here, I'm going to use the list view just to select the navigation block. We can do custom sizes here. The Apple one is really very small. That's probably more accurate. And there we go. Now we've got our navigation all kind of lining up, still sticky. And now we just need to start to style it. So I'm going to upload my logo. Now I just need to change the background color of my header template part and then go into my background setting for that group. And I'm just going to set a background color like so. Now I need to style this text block in here as well. And then I can just click on styles and I can change the text color. So I think it's just white probably. You see it's flipping to the mobile menu because it thinks I'm on a mobile device at the moment. Let's make that bigger so you can see this. There you go. That's looking pretty cool. There's a couple of other things I want to do. The first is change the font appearance on my menu items and then just squish them up a bit. I've got too much padding in here. So I'm going to select the navigation block. You can just click into any of these navigation items and then just select this little icon here. That makes sure you select the navigation block, or again, use the list view. But now I can come to styles and then I want to go to typography and appearance. And now I can set my appearance as extra light. There we go. Just save that. And the other thing I want to do, let's just make this bigger so we can actually see this, is we've got a bit too much padding here on the menu, on the actual header itself. We want this to squish in a bit tighter. And you can see we've actually got some padding here already preset. So if I reduce that, let's just test this out. If I go to 0, you see how it squishes up? So that's much more close to what we want. We want it really quite narrow, probably not 5. Let's try 10 pixels. Next, I want to remove that little gap at the top of the page just under the header. Now that margin might be being added in a number of places. The first place to check is the cover block itself. You can just click on the styles here and you can see here we've got margin. So it looks like it is naturally adding a bit of margin. That was simple. And that's got rid of that margin. Now we want to come to this section down here. This is super easy with the Gutenberg editor because this is just a cover block and we can just add content in here. So I'm going to put some text in just to show you how simple this is. And literally with one click, we can actually position that. So just make sure you selected the cover block, then come to this little matrix picker here and click on that. These are the different positions you can choose. I'm going to go bottom center. And boom, just like that, it's down in the bottom center. And now we can add other text underneath. I'll show you how you can position it even more closely in a second. So I'm going to put these in a row block actually, because we've got two. So I'm going to add the row block to start with. And then underneath this, we've got just 2 paragraph blocks, I think. So learn more. I can align these just like this in the row block. Let's just make sure we select the row block itself, and I can align them in the center. And now I just need to add that Vision Pro image. What I am going to do though is just group these blocks. And that means as soon as I group those, it gives me a little bit more control over styling. So I'm just going to add a little bit of bottom margin to that group block. So next we come to this section here, which we've got these 6 boxes. Now I think the easiest way for me to do this is just to add a columns block, and then within each column add the cover block. And in this left-hand column, I'm going to add this as the background image. So I'm going to add my cover block into that column. And the beauty about the cover block is that you can add a background image by default, which is, I think, that little option there. And it's the same deal. So the first thing I'm going to do here is change the opacity, because it has a natural opacity. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And now really it's just repeating what I did before. I'm going to write my text and position it just using my little dot matrix up here. Now I'm going to select the cover block, and I'm just going to use my little dot matrix up here. So let's add a little bit of top margin to that one there, and come to styles, and I'm going to set a minimum height. I can actually just drag my cover down, so we can actually just do this by eye. That's probably okay. Now for speed, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to basically duplicate this over here, click on the list view, click on that first column and duplicate it. You see how it's naturally stacking, but on a desktop, this is what it'll look like. Let's just remove that first one. And now we've basically got our layout. And what we can do actually for even speedier speed is we can select the top level column and just duplicate that twice. And now we should have our group of 6 ready for me to go in and change all the images and the text, just like I did before on this cover block here. Right time though to move on to this section down here, which is definitely more challenging, and I think we're going to need a plugin. This is a carousel with some blocks moving across it. So my plan is to use a carousel plugin with a cover block that I can add some extra stuff into. I will tell you what the plugin is in a minute, but let's just add it and see if it works. So I'm going to go add before, and then I've installed the plugin. So it's /carousel. And now I can add my slides. I want to make a couple of settings here first. So slides to show, these are the settings that you get with it. Some really cool stuff in here. I only want to show one slide to start with. It's going to take up most of the screen. You can also change things like the scroll time and the animation speed, and whether you have infinite looping, which I'm going to turn on. I want to auto play it as well. And you can change the speed, but let's see if we can actually get it working. So I'm going to add a slide, and my slide is going to be a cover block again. And I'm going to choose one from my library. Let's just choose that one there. This is the layout I want to get. And the first thing I'm going to do is just change the height here. Okay, so there we go. We're kind of close. Now I just need to write my stuff, but I think that's a buttons block. In fact, let's start by adding a row block, because I want to put my button in a row block. Then I'm going to add a buttons block within that. I can change the radius. I probably want to do these globally, but for today, for speed, I'm just going to change it like so. Now I'm going to change the background color. So we've kind of got that off-white color, which is, let's click on there to get it a bit more accurate. Probably something approximating, I certainly don't want it pink. Let's try, that's not too far away. And now we just want to change the text color as well. I'm just going to go with black for that. There we go. And because we put it in a row block, we should now be able to add a paragraph block after it, just like so. Just write some text. And let's just style that text. I'm just going to make that white, I think. And finally, I'm going to place it down in the bottom left area. That's pretty good, isn't it? And then with this plugin, you can basically just add new slides. So here's my carousel. I've got exactly the same images for each one, but that's looking pretty good. We've also got these little dots down here where we can navigate, and it will also autoplay. It looks fantastic. All I need to do now is go and change some of the background images to the right photos. And the plugin that I use for this is called the Carousel Slider block for Gutenberg. So now I've just got two sections to do. This first one over here looks really straightforward. All I'm going to do with that is paste that text in that I will just copy and then put it in a group block. What I need to do then is just change the background color of that group block. Get the idea. And this text is a bit small as well, so I'm just going to reduce the size of that text. It's not exactly accurate. Mine's a bit green actually. Let's just change that of that group. That's more like it. Okay, that's close enough. It's probably still a bit big actually. Let's make it a wee bit smaller. Jump in here and let's take that down. That's about right. And now we just got this footer section down here. Okay, so really all this is 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Pretty straightforward. So within my footer, I'm going to add the columns block. Like so. I'll choose 3 to start with of equal proportions, but you can see over here, if I select the columns block, I can change the number of columns. And then really all I want to do is copy and paste this stuff in to each of those columns. So I'm going to add it in like so. And then each one has a title. It's put it in a list, which is okay. I'm going to go add R before. And I'm just going to give that a title of Shop and Learn. And then really I just need to repeat the process for each of these columns. So this is where I got to after the 30 minutes ran out. My site is on the left, the real site is on the right. It went pretty well. So you can see I got the sticky navigation working. I got the cover block working with those hero sections. I got the card layout, pretty much identical actually. That went really well. And then we also got the carousel working to some degree. So it's not identical to the Apple official website, but it works and it still looks pretty good. And I managed to get the button inside that as well. And then I also sorted out the multi-column layout for the footer. And then this is what the website looks like on a mobile device. You see, as I squish it, everything responds nicely and it all works because I'm just using core Gutenberg blocks, which just naturally stack on tablets and mobile. So I ran out of time in the end, and there were a few bits of finessing that I didn't have time to manage, but I hope this gives you an idea of the enormous power of WordPress. Just core WordPress. If you learn it, learn the core blocks deeply, you can do so much just with core Gutenberg. Hope you found it useful. If you did, if you can give it a thumbs up, that would be amazing because it really, really helps spread the word about the video. And also every time you do hit that like button, our cats get a little treat. If you want to see more website recreations, then check out the playlist I've created. There's over 12 now, I think, where I've recreated famous websites just using WordPress. Thank you so much for watching. Keep well, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.